This is the dawn of a new era in British karting. Over 550 drivers in 12 classes competing for victory over 18 race weekends. This is the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships. I'm Jake Sanson and Senior X30 will be on track shortly, but first, let's catch up with the 2017 FIA World Karting Champion Danny Curl as he returns to the UK karting scene after his intensive European programme.
Won the CRK FIA World Championship in 2017 at PFI International. Since then I've been in Dubai for the winter coaching drivers, and then I come back here this week and decided to join the J Kart team again to compete in round two. You know, we need to always improve. You know, every meeting, all the teams are pushing hard. So every meeting we need to try and improve, and obviously in the testing as well. Testing is really important to how the race forms out. You know, that's where all the magic's done in the testing, and also back in the workshop. You know, back in the workshop, Scott's always working on the engines, trying to get maximum performance, and we're not doing too bad so far. You know, I've been with them since I was 10 years old, and we've won championships, won big races. And yeah, we're not doing bad this weekend. We finished second yesterday and we was pole in group this morning, so yeah, we're going all right.
The Senior X30 drivers are in their formation at the final hairpin, and it's Mark Kimber, IAMA Euro Series champion, versus Danny Curl, the 2017 World Champion. Then Thomas Turner, Clayton Ravenscroft, then the Hudsons, Hodgson, Brown, Butcher and Nippers. Here we go, and it's going to be a cracking start from the inside line from Mark Kimber. Danny Curl trying to hang on in front of Thomas Turner. Clean start. Oliver Hodgson trying to sweep round the outside of Ravenscroft, the cafe corner. Nothing doing, and he has to hold on to the position. They sweep down towards the Stratford hairpin, and it's Kimber in the lead from Curl in second. Thomas Turner still solid in third ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft. The rest of the field pick their way solidly through the hairpin. There's a little bit of a jostle further back in the pack. A couple of drivers in difficulty. Is that Morgan Porter breaking down? I have a feeling that the runner-up in last year's championship is going to cruise in. Morgan Porter is out of the race by the look of it, pulling off at the Bruno chicane. What a disaster yet again for Morgan Porter. He can't believe his luck. So at the end of the first lap, it is Mark Kimber who leads from Danny Curl. Thomas Turner second and Clayton Ravenscroft third. But Morgan Porter's weekend and potentially his championship season are in tatters. Absolutely disastrous for last year's runner-up. But Mark Kimber leads Danny Curl. Third is Thomas Turner, then Ravenscroft. Then it is the Hudsons. Rory in front of Matthew. And then it's Oliver Hodgson in front of, that's Jensen Brown, then Sean Butcher, Armstrong, Nippers, Westover, Morgan, Kilner, Zagazeta, Axel Laflamme, Gus Lawrence and Alexander Wang. So the drivers come off the turn, down the main straight, and this is what we came to see, this duel between the European Series title winner and the FIA World Champion from 2017. Mark Kimber of Strawberry Racing versus Danny Curl of Jade. Up to the inside of the hairpin, and Danny Curl's going to make his first overtaking move of the race, and he gets there, and Thomas Turner goes with him. So Danny Curl through to the lead, Thomas Turner through to second, and Mark Kimber slips to third, just in front of the championship leader, Clayton Ravenscroft. So they're going to continue battling away for supremacy, and it looks as though we've got one right at the back in difficulty. That is the 42 of Ben Hodge, so he's had problems. So Porter out and Hodge down at the back of the field. But Danny Curl leads the race from Turner, and that's Ravenscroft through to third. What has happened to Mark Kimber in the early stages? I wonder if he's just being a little bit conservative and trying to rest easy on the tyres. If he just backs off a little way, he can bring himself back into the lead hunt at exactly the right moment. If he pushes the tyres too hard too soon, then there's a chance. But he loses ground and then gains back on Clayton Ravenscroft, so he's up to third position again. That would seem to potentially suggest maybe that's not his game plan. Maybe he's just had a couple of bad breaks in the first 2 or 3 laps, and he's down to third position now. Ravenscroft trying to help him gain time, because that will help him gain further forward as well. But Danny Curl has now got Thomas Turner underneath him. I did say pre-race that Thomas Turner is going to be a driver to go for a victory today. He will want the battle, he will want the victory. So down to the short hairpin, into Stratford, back on the power again, up the runway straight and into the chicane. This is a good opportunity for Danny Curl to hold on in front of Thomas Turner, but still Kimber and Ravenscroft. Then it is Rory Hudson and Oliver Hodgson, because he's now got past Matthew Hudson, then Sean Butcher, teammates. That's why I got confused. Jensen Brown and Louis Westover, then Armstrong, Morgan, Nippers, LaFlamme, Kilner, Zagazeta and Lawrence. But Danny Curl leads, Thomas Turner second. Then it is Kimber, fourth Ravenscroft, in front of Hudson, Hodgson, Butcher and Hudson. So Sean Butcher has got past Matthew Hudson now. The Australian making up another place. Some fisticuffs in the lower part of the field. It looked like Ruben Moyer making a brave lunge on Alex Pendlebury in the midfield. The top five, no change. Still Danny Curl leads Thomas Turner, then Mark Kimber, Clayton Ravenscroft, in fifth Rory Hudson, sixth is Oliver Hodgson, then it's Sean Butcher, as Matthew Hudson is slowly starting to fall into the clutches of Jensen Brown and Louis Westover. But out in front, Danny Curl is just getting the job done. He leads the race comfortably. Thomas Turner has been caught though by Mark Kimber, so the battle for second place could intensify, and they may want to take the fight to Danny Curl in the lead of the race to see if they can compromise the number 67 out front. But the world champion from 2017 leads the race, and up the inside, that's Mark Kimber and Clayton Ravenscroft, both getting by Thomas Turner. So into first position we know is Danny Curl, but up to second now comes Kimber, up to third goes Ravenscroft. Arguably the top three drivers on the grid in the top three positions. I said arguably, I'm not necessarily saying the argument can be won, but it is a very good battle up at the front end of the field between three of the top men in this championship. If the race were to finish like this, then Ravenscroft would be the championship leader by 3 points to Kimber, with Danny Curl not even in the top 10 yet, because of course he wasn't present at the first round of the championship at PF International. So here comes the move up the inside. He's now for the lead. Mark Kimber gets through on Danny Curl. Ravenscroft tries to get through as well, has to back down from the fight, and he's now in third position still. But Kimber hits the front once more. So Danny Curl is second, Ravenscroft is third, then it's Thomas Turner in front of Rory Hudson, Oliver Hodgson and Sean Butcher, the Australian. Terrific race action and stupendous battles once more as the Senior X30 carts come off Wilkins hairpin and back down the main straight. Is Danny Curl going to get back on the inside of Kimber, or is he now going to let the Strawberry driver do all the work? Through Cafe, back on the power. Ravenscroft is going to charge again onto the back of Mark Kimber. This is going to be some pretty exciting stuff as they continue to duel. They get back onto the power down the back straight and into the Bruno chicane. Oh, very tough in the braking zone as Danny Curl has another attempt on Mark Kimber, but Kimber is able to put the card in exactly the right place to shut down the attack. Up to the hairpin of Wilkins, trying to get the car back to roll off the power, blend back on the throttle, back on the main straight. Kimber going well, Danny Curl right underneath him, no change for the lead yet. Ravenscroft's right there in third. 3 different chassis in the top 3, 4 different chassis in the top 4. It's Tony Kart leading the way from Birolart, Cosmic and Alonso in the top 4. They come off the hairpin and back down the runway straight up towards Bruno chicane. This fantastic Shenington Kart racing circuit on the old grounds of RAF Edge Hill. Fantastic facility this, and a great racetrack. It is the Monza of British karting, and it's great to see such amazing duels in the front of the field, in the middle of the field and towards the lower end. Everybody wants to win their battle no matter what position it's for. But here is the one with the biggest motivation. These 3, Kimber, Curl and Ravenscroft. 3 of them absolutely together. This is where the crop of the best talent in Britain is, as Danny Curl has another little bit of a look at Mark Kimber, but isn't able to get the move on the inside line. Either that, or he just decides against it. Into the Bruno chicane, and back on the power down the back straight once more. Kimber is definitely getting some assistance now from Curl rather than aggression. They're trying to stretch away from Ravenscroft, because that could easily have been an overtake if he wanted to make it one. He had lots of momentum off the Bruno chicane. But again, Danny Curl up the inside this time and takes the lead. Nicely done from Danny Curl. Well, he's not a world champion for nothing. He storms up the inside, and now Clayton Ravenscroft wants a piece of Mark Kimber. He's going to go for the inside line. Kimber's going to go straight back on the inside of Danny Curl and takes back the lead. Well, if I'm Clayton Ravenscroft, I'm doing exactly what he's doing now. Staying in third position, sitting on the back bumper and letting them duel it out. This is going to be such a race between them. And Ravenscroft actually has the smart strategy here. He could actually get one over on the pair of them. Now, here's an interesting scenario. If Kimber wins the race and Ravenscroft is down in third... Oh! Well, Curl's through and Ravenscroft's through on Kimber. That's the difficulty with not being able to see clearly over the motorhomes down to Wilkins hairpin. Unfortunately, I missed that move, but you saw it quite clearly. Into the hairpin. Danny Curl leads the race from Ravenscroft. Kimber in third. Fourth place is the Alonso of Rory Hudson for Dan Holland Racing. Ravenscroft goes for the lead in Bruno and gets the move. Into the lead goes Clayton Ravenscroft. He was clearly hearing me talk about championship ramifications, because I was going to say, if Kimber wins and Ravenscroft is third, then Kimber takes the lead in the championship by 1 point. Don't think so, says Clayton Ravenscroft. I'm going to win the race and lead the championship, thanks. So he takes back the lead of the race. That's the first time he's led today. He won 2 heats yesterday, and then the final got away from him. But they've been setting him up for this particular challenge. So now he's going to come for it. Danny Curl up the inside of Ravenscroft. He gets through. So does Kimber. So does Hudson. Oh dear. Well, Hudson through in a third position. Now he's going to potentially try and have a go at Kimber. Here comes Oliver Hodgson and Sean Butcher now. 6 of them in a long queue. And now 6 drivers are fighting for the victory. Danny Curl in front of Mark Kimber. Then it is Rory Hudson and Clayton Ravenscroft down to 4th. Then it is Oliver Hodgson with assistance from the Australian Sean Butcher. What a race. And now we've got just under 5 minutes plus the additional lap to go. So now we're in the business end of the race. This is a proper battle royale. This is a real Grand Prix, as into the hairpin and onto the straight once again. Side by side nearly, as Butcher tries to get on terms with Oliver Hodgson for 5th position. Ravenscroft has got back through on Rory Hudson. That puts him into 3rd. So now he's charging forward. But for the moment, Danny Curl has got legs on Mark Kimber. A couple of car lengths is all he needs to hold on to the advantage for the moment. And as they come through over the start-finish line again, it is going to be Danny Curl who controls the pace from Mark Kimber. Ravenscroft 3rd, then Hudson, Hodgson, Butcher. Behind them, that is Jensen Brown and Thomas Turner. Oh, as Derek Morgan makes a big lunge on the inside of Matthew Hudson, and he drops back behind. It's going to be Matt Armstrong, I believe. Meanwhile, Mark Kimber has got right onto the back of Danny Curl once again. Up to the Bruno chicane. This is going to be so tough for the victory. 4 minutes plus the additional lap. Time ticks down. Patience wears thin. Tyres wear thinner. This is going to be a really exciting end to the race, as the drivers are going to get back on terms with each other, and a few moves will come. Curl hanging on in front of Kimber. Is there going to be a move on the inside of Cafe? No, because Curl makes sure of that. Holds the door firmly shut to Mark Kimber. Ravenscroft in 3rd. 4th is Rory Hudson, having a great race. This is fantastic for Rory Hudson. He deserves so much to be at the sharp end of Senior X30. He's had no luck recently, but now he is finally at the sharp end of a Senior X30 British Championship race, and he deserves his place at the front. Maybe he can get on the podium, especially if Curl and Kimber start to dice for death. Into Wilkins, stalemate, back on the power. Curl and Kimber, still 1 and 2. 3rd Ravenscroft, 4th Hudson. Then it is Butcher. The Australian has got through on Oliver Hodgson. So Sean Butcher is now in P5 as he closes up on the gaggle in front. Then in 7th position, that is Louis Westover. So Westover in front of Turner and Jensen Brown. Then it's Morgan, Armstrong, Hudson, Tillett, Lawrence Laflamme, Kilner, Zagazeta, Alex Wang and Tom Nippers, who has tumbled all the way down to 19th. That is Kimber leading. Kimber in front of Curl. Then Ravenscroft 3rd. They go down the back straight. Kimber in front of Danny Curl, and Ravenscroft still there in 3rd position. And now it's a 3-way fight with 3 more pretenders to the crown right on their tail. Hudson, Butcher and Hodgson still very close to the leading trio. But now we're into the business end of the race. 2 minutes to go. Kimber hangs on from Danny Curl, Clayton Ravenscroft, Rory Hudson, Sean Butcher and Oliver Hodgson. The 6 of them in a line. What a showdown in the British Championship final this weekend here. Ravenscroft goes the long way round. He's going to try and get the switch back. Oh, that's a brave manoeuvre. Danny Curl gets the lead. Hudson's going to get on the inside of Ravenscroft. They bang wheels, and that's going to let Butcher through to 4th. Ravenscroft down to 5th. Looked to me like they banged wheels down the back straight, and Ravenscroft slips to 5th position, just a whisker in front of Oliver Hodgson. So now he's got to try and fight back from P5. But Danny Curl, crucially, is back in the lead in front of Mark Kimber. 1:25 as they cross the line, plus the additional lap, of course. So I would calculate that we've got about 3 or 4 laps left, depending on when they cross the line. And they'll be doing so flat on the throttle. Here goes Kimber again. Up on the inside of Danny Curl. No chance, you're not getting through there. This is all about patience, speed, discipline, control, poise, guile, determination. And in the top 6, you've got bags of it. Danny Curl leading Mark Kimber. 3rd position, that's Rory Hudson. In front of Sean Butcher, Clayton Ravenscroft and Oliver Hodgson. One of these 6 is going to take the victory by this rate. But it is going to be so tight to figure out who it's going to be. Hudson now in front of Sean Butcher, going for 2nd position, Mark Kimber, but he's not close enough. Less than a minute to go. I think this is going to be the crucial penultimate lap. So Kimber tries to make another crack at Danny Curl up the inside, squabbles down to the braking zone as Ravenscroft this time tries to go the long way round Hudson, and this time he makes it into 3rd position. Ravenscroft into 3, that is amazing. Into P3 once again, and now he's in the hunt for the victory behind Mark Kimber in 2nd and the leader Danny Curl. Now by my math, that's going to put Ravenscroft and Kimber very close together in terms of points. I think Ravenscroft will just hang on to the lead of the championship, but we go into... Now, that was about a second when they crossed the line. Does that mean we're on the last lap, or have we got another one? We'll have to double check, but I'm not sure whether we've got 2 laps to go or 1 lap to go. Whatever, Ravenscroft is going to come down to the hairpin, trying to get through past Kimber for 2nd, has not made it yet. Danny Curl takes a look over his right shoulder. Kimber and Ravenscroft are still there. I'm watching for the checkered flag, but I think we're going to have to wait another lap for it. Down the back straight. Well, the flag is being prepared, so if it's the case, then Danny Curl has got to hang on for one final hairpin as Ravenscroft comes right round the outside of Kimber into Wilkins. The checkered flag is being waved. Danny Curl is going to get the victory from Kimber and Ravenscroft. What a duel, what a battle, but Danny Curl is back. He is #1 in Britain again, here this weekend at Shenington. Superb race. 2nd position for Mark Kimber, 3rd for Clayton Ravenscroft, and that means that he leads the championship by 2 points heading to Lark Hall. Fantastic racing. Rory Hudson, a brilliant 4th position in front of Sean Butcher. Great racing from both of them. Oliver Hodgson comes through for 6th in front of Louis Westover. Another good fight back to 7th. In 8th place is Thomas Turner from Jensen Brown and Derek Morgan, who fights through to the top 10 after starting 18th. 11th is Matt Armstrong in front of Archie Tillett, who makes up 13 places to get there. Matthew Hudson and Gus Lawrence from Cole Kilner and Matthias Zagazeta. Axel Laflamme and Alex Wang from Lewis Malin and Eduardo Cosateng, who makes up 13 places to be 20th. Then it is Reese Ushijima from Nelson King, Al Patterson and Alex Pendlebury, Ryan Green, Abigail Ross, who storms up to 26th, Jack Gordon and Ruben Moyer, Rufus Hunt, Henry Ayers, Harry Barlow and Ben Hodge, with the 2 retirements, Tom Nippers on the final lap, and Morgan Porter out on lap 1. A win at Shenington for Danny Curl is oh so sweet, with Mark Kimber and Clayton Ravenscroft now almost level in the championship hunt. Roll on Lark Hall.
We've been struggling all weekend really, but we managed to get the car back on form for the final today, and just managed to stay with Danny and Mark throughout the whole race, and managed to be within the battle all the way through. So yeah, it was a really good race. We're looking for that championship win hopefully, but we'll see if Mark does the rest of the championship or if Danny does. So yeah, it'll be a close one.
Yeah, it's been a really good weekend for me. We've had the speed all weekend, but obviously due to the nature of the circuit, it's going to be really close around here, long straight, so it's hard to get away. And at the start of the race, we managed to take the lead, and me and Danny broke a gap a few times, but just made a few mistakes and in the end finished second. So, but I'm still happy with how the weekends went.
Yeah, no, it was a good race. It's always going to be close around here. There's always a lot of battling going on. So it was nice to come out on top today. Finishing second tomorrow, I felt like I had to try and get a win somewhere. So glad I've done it today. I'm not sure yet. Obviously, I'll come back with J carts this weekend. They're obviously using the Birrell and they're trying to get the cart back on top, and obviously we've done it this time, and it's been working really well for us. So I don't know, maybe I'll see you again in Scotland, but I'll wait to find out. I didn't do round one, so the championship's looking not very likely, but we'll see.